So, welcome to our Tech Tank. We're focusing today on Remind. Have you used Remind at all, or is this brand new for you?
I haven't used it.
Exciting. Awesome. All right. I'm going to share with you actually in the chat window right now a copy to the slides if you would like
Okay.
to follow along, if it's easier for you to be able to peruse at your own time also later. So, there's a lot of information in the slideshow, and I'm not going to read it directly off for you. But there is a wealth of knowledge here for you to dip into. And again, the link is in the chat window for you. So let's just talk about right here. So this is a private mobile messaging platform, and information is always private and confidential. And it's a great way of increasing those homeschool connection. All right. So
So you have to either get that. You have to get the app, or you can do it online.
you
That's
can
it.
do it web based, you can do it on your phone.
Okay.
And for me personally, I've done most of it on the web,
Mhm.
but Janie uses both platforms too. And when families communicate with me, even though I don't have the app yet, because I need to do a little bit of data maintenance on my phone in order to make room for another app right now.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it still does send me. It links the messages that are sent to me, so I can see them pop up on my phone, even though I don't have the
Okay.
app. There are a lot of reasons to use Remind, and in the middle schools and high schools, they also have students connect with it. But in the elementary level, um, we would just communicate with the parents primarily. The parents are automatically rostered to you per our system of when parents, when they fill out all that paperwork at the beginning of the year, they have indicated what their preferred language is and what their preferred method of communication is. So some are rostered to receive emails and some are rostered to receive phone. And you can set up both. I'm going to show you how you can set yours up. So for because we get to tailor this PD for you,
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of help you out here. On this slide, the first thing would be to confirm your class, but because you don't have a Synergy class, you're going to get started by just signing in.
Okay.
So you can go to, if you like, remind.com.
Okay.
But before I kind of help you start building that class, I just want to show you there's some really great slides on here. This one is a keeper. On this slide, once you do register your students' parents, you'll be able to see these little icons next to their name. And the lightning bolt again shows that they're receiving messages on their phone. The three dots shows that they're receiving emails, and the X shows that something is not working. They're not receiving messages, and you might want to reach back out to them to
Okay.
see if there's a better preferred method of communication. So this magical button here, add people, is what you're going to look for when you want to add folks to your class.
Hey, Annabelle.
Hello, Miss Mendez. I'm dropping in the chat window for you, Annabelle, a link for the slides that we're going off of right now before we jump in and tinker.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Hope you're having a good day. Annabelle, have you used Remind with your students' families?
Yes. Not a lot though, but I don't know how to do the one-on-one thing yet. Like I just like the whole class. But I,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay, so we want to learn how to send direct messages to one family at a time versus
that
the
would be
whole.
great. Yes. Uh huh.
Sure. So, Annabelle, your class has already been created, and here um, on this slide layout, what we're going to see is once you get into your platform, under settings is a great place where you can change your class code. You can customize it to make it easier. You want to make sure that you're affiliated with Landmark School, and then once you press save, you'll be going to the People tab to add more. And Leah, what you'll look for on the left-hand side are these different ways of communicating and inviting families to join.
So I did want to add one thing. If it's your class that's rostered through Synergy, if you have a new student or parent affiliated with that student, it syncs every night. So I don't think you should have to add new students, for example.
That's a great reminder. Like I was just mentioning, when you add more people, there are you can give them different choices. You can right here go into your phone or email contacts. One thing that I found helpful is this printable PDFs. You can print out a PDF right here with directions, for example. Oh, you can't see because my background. You can imagine the paper right here, and that shows parents. You can download this in a variety of different languages, so you can do it in English or Spanish. You can also share a link and send it to them on their phone, or also copy and put it into an email. There is a kind of a standard number that they would text with the class code that you give them. And that would be one way that they could sign up through their phone to get messages through either the app or through their phone. Okay, translation. These two slides are looking a little bit different because I'm taking a former slideshow that was created by the team, but they have new features for translation, and I'm going to show you those. There is also a feature for voice calls. If you want to reach out to your families through the app on your phone, you can do a voice message, and the slide would take you through that process. For you yourself, you can set your preferences for how you want to receive and communicate with your families. If you don't want to be bombarded from all devices, you would turn some of them off. This is an interesting one too, of message options. If you want your parents to be able to reply to you, you want to make sure that message options is checked on that allows them to reply. Otherwise, they're just receiving information without kind of a back and forth dialogue. And this feature is turning on office hours. It's pretty cool also. So that also kind of tailors when you want to be in communication with families. I tested it earlier with Janie, and basically it prevents them from being able to call you outside of your office hours. It won't even show the phone icon for them available if it is outside of the office hours. So that kind of gives you a nice boundary. This is for your families to follow. So that would be something that you would want to share with families if you need. And I'm going to skip through that for right now. And again, if you are watching this Tech Tank video after today's PD, I will be sharing the slide deck so that you can access all this information as well. Student cell phone numbers is more tailored to high school, middle school. So it's kids over the age of 13. So that is not something that you would have to worry about. You can change your class name once you're in. You can go to settings. You can change your avatar. You can also change your class name. And allegedly, you can change your class code to be more easily recognizable for families. They suggest maybe your last name and your room number might be an easy way, or however you want to identify it. On this slide, a lot of different ideas for ways that you can use your mind. And the final two slides of this deck are where you're going to find your resources that you'll probably zoom to later on. We have our webpage that we've created right here under the tech links. So the Remind webpage already has great videos bilingually for teachers, for parents, for students, and so that you can also share these with families if they have any questions. There's also a Remind YouTube channel that they put out with a variety of videos to help support you. Have the Help Center. Oh, they did a Tech Tank a couple years ago, and there's an archive video here. And also there, if you are curious about the preferred language, here that would be a great FAQ for you to check out. I'm going to show you live also, but Remind offers PD live sessions that you can join, recordings you can watch, and modules that you can follow in your spare time. If you want to learn more about the basics of Remind, I'll show you how to access that information. And here are some goodies also for back to school. Each of these are PDFs, so you can click on them to access, for example, a class intro letter explaining to your families about Remind. And right now I'm awaiting from our point person this resource available in Spanish too. So I will update this as soon as I get it. Before we tinker, any questions? All right, so you're going to go to remind.com. And I'm going to stop sharing. And once you go to remind.com, it's going to prompt you to log in with Google. And Mariel, I've seen that you've been using it already. Annabelle, you've been using it already. So you guys have already claimed your classes. That would be the first step of claiming your classes. Annabelle, would you mind sharing your screen, please?
Your
Yeah.
entire screen.
Just you can do a tab if
Oh,
you want,
okay. There.
unless you want us to see all of your open tabs.
Sure, why not? Now you can see it. Can you see it?
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. On this homepage, you see the messages that shows you the different announcements you've made and conversations that you might have had one-on-one with families. So under conversations, you don't have anything listed there because you haven't sent anything
Mm-mm.
to one parent.
No,
So we
'cause I
can,
don't know how to do it.
yeah, so click that button to send a message, for example. And right here, it's showing these are your recent conversations from all of the parents there. Right now, it's set, you can see next to the apple, to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But if you click on there, you can specify just parents if you want. And from there, that would send a message to each parent.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to do that, right below there, you see people at the bottom there.
Oh,
There's
okay,
people
here. Yes. Uh-huh.
in
I
our
think those might be
space.
recent people you've interacted with. But if you close that, I'll tell you the way I like to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I
There-
tried to do it this way and I didn't see my parents there.
There's a
I saw
couple
people.
ways, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the way I like you, so you have your third grade class selected, and then at the top where the tabs are, I would select people, and then where it says everyone, yeah, just below that, click on that little tornado looking thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
select parents. And then you'll see a list of all your parents. So the reason I liked it was that sometimes maybe the parent's name didn't quite match with the student's name. And
Uh,
so on the right side, you could see the family members. So for example, if you mouse over one of like those initials, like
uh-huh.
DR, DA, to the right,
Okay. Uh-huh. I guess.
you can see who the student is
Okay.
related to that parent. So for me, that was super useful. I'm like, oh, that's Valentina's mom or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so from there, you could click on a parent, like click on whichever one just to see what happens. And now on the right side, there's that message button. So if you want to message just that one person, or if you want to call them, like if you have calls set up, you can call them using your like hidden number using the remind
Uh-huh.
feature. Though I'm not sure if you could do it from the web. Can you? I think maybe you can.
I
I
think
don't
so.
know. But also if you have the app, that's how I would do it too.
And your phone
Okay.
number is always masked by Remind. Your
Yeah.
information is always kept confidential.
I think the other way you can do it, this way I like because if I'm not sure the parent's name, I go here. But the other way you can do it is if you go to the top left corner under your name, there it says A Mendez. It says new message there. And so if you click on new message and you know the parent's name, you could start typing their name and then they'll come out and you can select them.
Okay.
So yeah, then I would just check the box and then continue.
Okay.
Let's try an example. If you click on Brenda again and then press continue.
Okay.
Um, so the way that messages work, that translation feature I wanted to show you is at the bottom window is where you would type your message. So the way this works is that every parent has identified a home language that they would prefer to receive communication. You could type your message in English, for example, like, we're going to the fair tomorrow. Don't forget your lunch and comfortable shoes. Whatever you want to type there. So throw in a couple words. Let's just kind of play it around. We won't send it, but I'll just kind of show you how to translate it. Yeah. Woohoo! Exactly. So then what you would do is you would highlight this text, and then below it, you see the button that's next to the paperclip. There you go, the translate. When you click there, we can see this parent has not selected a preferred language. If they did prefer, that means that they prefer English, most likely. But
Okay.
if they did have a
Should I try a different parent?
sure,
See if it
let's do that.
works. If it
Yeah.
works. Okay. So here, how do I get out of here? I don't see a cancel. Just
You can just click
Any
out of
message.
it. Yep.
Okay, and let's try Juana.
Okay.
Oh, but that I still have Brenda here, but that does. Oh, that's why do I still have
When
her selected?
you see how when you hover over a name, you can press the X to the right.
Okay.
There you go.
Continue. Okay, let's see if this. Nope, it's the same thing.
And do you know do you usually communicate with her in Spanish?
Yes.
All right.
When did they select the language? How did they enter that information into the system?
To my knowledge, it's at the beginning of your paperwork too.
Well, but can we change it here? Like if we want it.
Yeah, I think you can change it for
Oh,
the
really?
families. Yeah, right from your screen, I could show you.
Okay. Well, let me
So
go back.
you can just
What
on the left click on the name of your class
Mm-hmm.
and yeah,
discard the
discard.
message?
Mhm. And then go to people again and find one of the parents. So let's filter again where it says everyone. Just click on
Mm-hmm.
parents. And so now select one of them.
Okay, let's select this. Let's select Candelaria now.
And now to the right of messages, click on the three dots. And you have edit
Right there.
preferred language.
Okay. And we have.
Yeah, I thought it would come in from Synergy, so I feel like it's supposed to, but sometimes the language is incorrect. So that here you can change it.
Yeah, there's over 90 languages
Yeah,
available.
there. That's good. Okay.
So now try the translation feature again and see if it'll do it.
Yeah, so let's try that message button.
Chat with. Okay, this is a chat. This
is going to be a conversation directly with her.
But it's the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
okay. So hi. Tomorrow. We turn in library books. Okay.
Okay.
So select the text
Mm-hmm.
and translate.
Click
Spanish.
on Spanish, and it offers you right there a translation. If sometimes it's a little wonky, so you can actually right now click in there and edit. So you can make it a capital. If there's any gender, masculine or feminine that you need to change also, there you go, adding articles or a final or punctuation.
Yeah, that was my mistake in the English part. Yeah.
That's fine. From there, if you're satisfied with this translation,
Mm-hmm.
all you have to do is press back at the top right. There you go. And then press send. Oh, well, then you
but
would
it
press
doesn't.
send. On your end, you see your message in
Okay.
English, but they will see Spanish, and they'll have the option to see the original message. They can see it in both Spanish and English. If you want both of them included, both English and Spanish, you would highlight all of it before you press back.
I haven't played with that. Usually what I would do is highlight what I wrote in English and copy it. And then I'd send the message in Spanish and then send it again. And then I'd paste it and send it in English.
Oh, like this, like Spanish, like go here, highlight it, Control C, and then just go back, and
you could do that
Control
too.
V. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, there's
you could
different
do that.
ways.
You could do them side by side. You could do separate messages. Yeah, or you can, if you have already translated it, you could copy the English one in there. So it kind of looks like you're sending two English messages, but one's already been translated. So it would show both English and Spanish right below each other.
Okay, but it doesn't show like two messages, because I know like when our principal sends the remind notices, we get two different texts, one in Spanish and one in English.
So that sounds like what he's doing is translating it, sending it in Spanish, and then putting the original text in English.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing. But Mariel, do you have any other burning questions that I can answer when I pop by tomorrow?
Oh no, I have a parent that joined because I like gave out the code and everything at back to school night. And so a little hint that I learned because one parent did it one way and I was like, oh, that's really clever, is when they join, they can add a message.
Yes.
And one parent was like very smart and wrote like, I'm so-and-so's mom.
Mm.
And then another one just like joined and no message. And so I had to do a little like file sleuthing to be like, double check that this is a parent of one of my students. And like statistically speaking, it would probably be pretty rare that someone would like stumble upon, but I just want to double check. But as I'm going through him right now and he's like in my right class and everything's fine, and I just synced his kid to him. For some reason, I'm not able to change his role to parent. Like I see how to edit them, I see how to like add them, I see how to like make them a co-person on the class, but it's not letting me change their specific role that I can see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We might be able to change that for you on the back end.
Oh, okay.
What's the name of the parent, or what did they put down?
Name here, I'll put it in the chat box. And it might have just been, like I said, like some weird little glitchy thing. And I'm like, I'll know that it's a parent. But if I'm doing what you're saying, where you like select just the parents, I don't know if he'll show up.
Yeah, it might be that only administrators can change the role.
Okay, yeah, it was funny because when I went to click on it, it did have a pop-up that basically said like, ask your teacher or your administrator to change the role. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm the teacher. Cool. Yeah, and no worries. Like if it's just like one person, I can remember it, but I just wanted to throw that up there. If it is a kind of funny little glitch or something that when they sign up, they determine or something like that, I just want to make sure that people are aware so they're not just lost and not getting a message. Or
we'll see what we can do in our back end.
Yeah, we'll look into it
tomorrow.
Another question. How do you know if the parents saw the message?
On the I haven't checked this for email, Annabelle, but I'm just pulling up right now. It's sort of like Facebook Messenger where it'll say read like underneath with the check mark.
Okay.
So I don't know about the email if they're only receiving it, but definitely through text it says it has a read receipt under it.
Cool.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, it says read, 18 people received and saw your message. Okay. It was delivered to 19 people and there was no error delivered. So yeah. So under, when I just click on the little arrow on the side, that's what it says.
Yeah, I knew I had seen that in there before, but I wasn't seeing it right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
On my fake parent account, I also see that they could see when you read the messages too, unless you have office hours on, I think. And then one thing we found out today, which I thought I'd share, is that if you send a message by accident, you cannot delete it.
Yes.
So be careful.
Oh.
You'd have to ask an administrator to contact Remind to delete it for you. So be very careful.
They're working with their team to try and find a workaround for that.
I mean, I could see that as a problem if, I mean, this would be something I would do by accident. Like I'd just basically select the wrong group.
Yeah.
Like, send it to all my colleagues instead of my students or something.
Where's the undo button?
Yeah, I was thinking sometimes I have a link copied for something, but you know, sometimes I double check the link and I'm like, oh, that's the wrong document or the wrong video or something. So yeah, careful.
That's good. That's
Message with caution.
Well, okay, thank you. This
Thanks
was
for coming. Awesome.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow and I'll pop by your classes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.